Hi, everyone. I hope everyone can hear me. So my name is Jamie Zwier, and I am the head coach and founder of Oh How Healthy. And I wanted to share with you a PowerPoint. This is a little presentation about how to create balance in a busy life. And this is a little bit about what my business is about. This is a presentation that I like to do and share to kind of sum up how I help individuals create balance in a busy life. And then at the end, I have a really special offer for those of you who are who have hung out with me and who stuck it out to the end. That's what I was trying to say. So I'm super excited for you to be here, and I am looking forward to this little hangout together. So anyway, my name is Jamie Zwier, and like I said, I'm a health coach. And if you can see this here, whoops. Okay, let's go back a minute. Okay, so my name is Jamie, and I'm the founder of Oh How Healthy and Oh How Healthy Kids. And I graduated from Temple University with my elementary and early childhood degrees. And then I also then eventually went to graduate from the Institute for Integrative Nutrition as a holistic health coach. So down here it says a little bit about my awakening moment. And I had this awakening moment when, after I had graduated from Temple University, like any newly graduated student, you want a job right out of school. So I was lucky enough to get a teaching job right out of school, and I started my teaching career. So if I graduated in May, then this started in September. So I went right into my teaching career, and this was great and all. And, I went to school because I thought that teaching was my passion. And so I got right into teaching, and it was only about 2 years in. After the first year, I was like, this has to get better. And then after the second year, I was like, I don't know. It didn't, I woke up one day, I was like, is this really the rest of my life? And I just felt like I was settling. I would really light it up when I taught nutrition lessons to kids, and when I would talk to moms about their workouts and what they were eating. I was like, I feel like I'm in the wrong career. And it was also around this time when I was sitting at a lunch break minding my own business when I got a phone call from my doctor, and she shared with me that I had hypothyroidism, that my thyroid levels were super high, and that I needed to go to a pharmacy and pick up a prescription for Synthroid, like ASAP. And so I sat there wondering and thinking, what is a thyroid? I didn't even know what a thyroid was. And not only that, but I had these questions like, is there anything else that I can do about it? Is it genetic? What are my other options? And all roads led to just go pick up the prescription. And, I didn't really like that. That didn't make me feel very good. I am not naturally a person that likes to take medication, like by my first line of defense. If it comes to it, then that's fine. But so I remember I was probably, 22 at this point. And I remember being like scared and then writing down questions because she just wanted to rush off the phone with me after we shared this, moment together. She was just like, okay, yeah, there's nothing else you can do. Just go pick up the prescription. So I remember writing things down and calling her back and having more questions for her. And she was like, listen, medicine, just go pick it up. And that didn't really make me feel good. And at that point, I was really determined to try to find an alternative. And if it wasn't through my doctor, then, I guess I had to figure it out on my own. And I didn't necessarily have like the family that was on board with this decision. This was very intrinsic and natural to me. So my family was very worried about me. And I was like, listen, just give me some time, guys. And give me about a year, I said. And if it's not healed by a year, then I promise I will take this medication. So it was through my research that I discovered the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, where I eventually went to school to, and graduated with my holistic health coaching certification. And it was through that experience that I really learned how amazing the body really is, and how smart it is, and how, when your body is telling you something is wrong, when it's saying it's a little something is off, then you really have to listen to it, and you can't just shut it up by saying, here, take a pill. Because when that happens, you naturally suppress that symptom, and then guess what? It's just going to show up somewhere else. So I knew that I had to get to the source of the issue and figure things out. So I learned that the body is so intelligent and it's always trying to tell you something. So when your thyroid, which is a major gauge in your body and it dictates a lot and it gives your body a lot of information, when it's going haywire, you should really listen to it. So by my thyroid slowing down, it was a natural way for my body to let me know, like, listen, if you're not going to slow down and calm down, then it will do it for me. Because I was always a busy person, running here, running there, being a new teacher and planning a wedding at this time and buying a house and having a new puppy and, doing this and doing that. And everyone would always say to me, you have to slow down. You have to give yourself a break. And I'm like, no, I'm fine. And so my body was eventually doing that for me. So I was forced to really find ways to slow down, and I was forced to find balance, essentially. So I will get into a little bit more of that in a bit, but as teachers, as mothers, as caregivers, etc., you have a lot to deal with on a daily basis. So how do you fit it all in, right? Like for me, I had all this different stuff that I had going on. And I was like, you know what? If I skip out on sleep or if I don't give myself time to rest and meditate or slow down, then I'll be fine. And that's not really a good way to deal with it. And a great way to deal with it is to find a system that allows your body to adjust, and when you tune into your body, you can really give it what it needs. So we will get into all of this in a little bit. And if anyone has any questions or comments, and you can type that into the comment section or the sidebar and let me know, like, what are some things that you do to find balance? And I'd love to hear from you. So this talk is really all about how to create balance and overall wellness and empowerment no matter how busy you are. And my goal is for you to walk out of this presentation with some useful tips and tricks and a plan of action, right? It's so boring sometimes to listen to a webinar or someone talking and you're like, that's a lot of great information. However, I have a lot of stuff to do, so I don't really have time to implement anything that you just said. And I want you to walk away with a smart goals and like smart actions to move forward so that you can actually feel like you can tackle something that you heard and that inspired you. So this here is a picture of the circle of life. And this is something that I was taught from the Institute for Integrative Nutrition. This is a reference that they used. If you are interested in seeing or doing this exercise on your own, you can go to my website at www.ohowhealthy.com and you can download this circle of life on your own. But this is something that the founder, Joshua Rosenthal from the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, created. And the goal of this is this circle of life encompasses all the different areas of your life. From the inner line to the outer line here. So let's see. So from the inner line here to the outer line, you will put a dot on this line where you feel like you fall in these different areas. So if you feel like you have really great social life, your dot is going to go more towards the outside. If you feel like, it might go here or here, but if you feel like it's really lacking, it's going to go more towards the center. So you're going to fill in all these areas where as you feel fit, in these different areas that encompass your circle of life. And then you will connect the dots. So the goal is to have a full circle of life. But, for right now, it might look like a star. It might look like a certain, funny shape, and that's totally okay because that gives us a lot of room to work with. And this is something that I do with all of my clients. And as we move through our sessions together and through our months together, this is amazing how much this really ends up filling out. So again, if you would like to download this, you can go to my website at ohhowhealthy.com and you can find it there. So once it, is there anything here that has surprised you? If you were able to download it and complete it, were there anything that surprised you from the insights that you received? And if anyone feels comfortable sharing what they noticed, please feel free to share it in the comment section, or you can always send me an email at jamie@ohhowhealthy.com and, let me know what you discovered from your insights and see how I can help you. So the goal is to really fit it all in, but it's not always the easiest thing. And the way that I like to look at finding balance in your life is because I know a lot of people don't necessarily believe in balance, right? It's not always some people don't believe in the idea of balance because, of course, maybe something like this where you're not going to have all the different areas of your life equally, perfectly in order, like segmented, like, I got to home cooking this much of my day and I got to spend time with my kids this much and I got this much with my friends and this much with my spirituality and I got to, that's not really realistic. And I think that that's why people don't believe in balance, is because it's never going to be like this every single day, every single week, every single month. And then that's totally okay. So the way that I like to look at it is that, some days it might be 37% work. It might be 11%, answering emails. It might be 12% dealing with putting out a fire with your, relationship, putting out a fire. Maybe your kids are fighting here. And so each day is not going to be perfect. And that's totally okay. And that's what I want you to understand, because it's not I don't want you to feel guilty if you don't get to a certain thing. Like if you don't get time for yourself one day, that's okay. Because each day is a new opportunity to try again. And each week is a new opportunity to try again. And I don't want you to ever feel guilty and feel sorry for yourself and feel bad that you didn't get to do something, because that's okay. And I really want you to understand that. And that's really something that I try to emphasize and get my clients to understand as well. And so sometimes the circle is not going to be 100% evenly proportioned. And I like to look at life, or look at creating balance in your life, in three main pillars. So if you're holding up a plate or the circle of life with all these different aspects of your life in it, you are holding it up with three main pillars here. And I will get into these pillars in just a second. So these three pillars here are self-respect, time management, and organization. And if one of the pillars falls out of whack, like you can envision holding anything up with three fingers, it's going to fall over. So pillar number one is creating self-respect. And self-respect focuses on self-care. It also includes things like drinking or eating good foods, drinking enough water, getting a good amount of sleep, having good having a lot of energy, and also having positive relationships with people, having a healthy bank account, being able to use your voice when you feel like using it and not being afraid to do so. And also having strong boundaries is also an aspect of self-respect, because you don't want to really give in to anyone and everything that anyone asks from you. You have to have boundaries, and someone can't ask you to go let out their cat 5 days a week because you say, okay, sure, because you don't have strong boundaries, or you don't want people to walk all over you. So that is part of having self-respect. So the second pillar is time management. And time management is really, really crucial. A lot of us always like to say that we don't have a lot of, well, I don't think we like to say it, but we always say we don't have enough time and we don't have enough money, right? And actually having money is part of self-respect, having a healthy bank account. And so Time management is creating positive relationship with your time. And we all have the same 24 hours in a day. And that is a great equalizer amongst everyone. So what are you really doing with your 24 hours? And if you're supposed to get 8 hours of sleep here as part of the self-respect, routine, so you are left with 16 hours left of your day. And if you work a 9 to 5, that takes another 8 hours of your day. And so you're left with 8 hours left. And let's say you commute for an hour, I'll even give you that. So you're left with 6 hours. Now, I want to know, what are you doing with these 6 hours of your day that you feel like you don't have time to fit in exercise or healthy eating or meal prepping and meal planning? And how do you not find the time to, all these different areas of your circle of life here? What are you doing with those 7 hours that you don't have time to fill in these areas? And then that's not even consuming and considering weekends, really. Weekends is another thing. Weekends here, you have more than those 8 hours. You're not working your 9 to 5. So really the thing of it is really working to maximize your time and find nuggets of time of your day and determine what you're doing with your time so that you can find the time in your day. Pillar 3 is organization. And organization includes everything from organizing your mind to your living room. And this also includes SMART goal setting. And SMART goal setting is an acronym for creating a specific goal, a measurable goal, achievable goal, realistic goal, and timely goal. So for example, you don't want to just say, I'm gonna be healthy this week. Well, what does that really mean to you? Is it specific? Not really. Is it measurable? No. Achievable, realistic, timely. So to make that a SMART goal, you would make it specific. You would say, I'm going to cut out soda this week, or I'm going to work out 3 days this week, or I'm going to meal prep this week. And then that's you being healthier, and it's also being more specific. Is it measurable? Yes. I know that I have achieved my goal when I worked out 3 days this week. So you would carve it into your calendar. You would find the time and the days that you would be able to get to the gym and work out. Is it achievable? Yes. I see that I have blank amount of hours and blank amount of days to do that goal. Is it realistic? Yes. I believe I already work out 1 to 2 days this week. I believe that I can add 1 more day. Is it timely? Yes, because you know that you have the time in your day to do it, and it is a realistic goal. So that's just one example. So in the next few slides here, I'm going to show you a bit about self-respect, time management, and organization. And so self-respect is eating well. You want to consume colorful, unprocessed foods. And in my Oh How Healthy Kids classes, I explain to children what being healthy is, because it's not that easy to describe. A lot of us, we have all these different diets and all these different programs available to us, and we still are so confused as to what's healthy. And just because one diet works for one person doesn't mean that it's going to work for another person, because there's such thing as bioindividuality. We're all so unique. So just because a keto diet works for one person and a vegan diet works for another, it doesn't make one wrong or one right. So when I teach this to children, I use the way that I teach it to children as a way that I teach it to the women that I work with, because I find that it is just the best example of what being healthy is and what consuming healthy food really is. So you want to consume colorful food, unprocessed food with minimal ingredients. So for example, you want to shop the perimeter of the store when you go to the grocery store. You want to avoid all the packaged ingredients. You want to make sure your foods have a wide variety of color in it without added ingredients. So they're naturally colorful foods. That means you're getting a wide variety of different fruits and veggies and vitamins and nutrients and minerals, and you're feeding your body from the inside out. And when you do this, you naturally crowd out the bad stuff. You naturally fill up on all these good fruits and veggies and healthy meats and organic proteins and wild-caught fish, and you're naturally crowding out the packaged foods, the boxes of crackers and cookies and granola bars and all that junk with extra added ingredients and preservatives in it, because that's not what we want to consume. And I know that the idea of buying lots of fruits and veggies or organic when possible can sound like it's expensive, but I promise you it's not. And that's my number one thing, is to really show people that being healthy doesn't have to be time-consuming, stressful, expensive, restrictive at all. It is just the opposite. So this is a list of the Clean 15 and the Dirty Dozen. And the Clean 15 and the Dirty Dozen is a list of fruits and veggies that were submitted from the Environmental Working Group, the EWG, and they provide a new list every single year. And the Clean 15 is a list of the fruits and veggies that are clean to eat without it being organic. So typically, these fruits and veggies have an outer skin on it that you're going to take away and then eat the fruit or the veggie on the inside. For example, grapefruit, honeydew, avocados, sweet peas, they have the outer shell. All these things, you eat the inside. The Dirty Dozen, on the other hand, is a list of 12 fruits and veggies that you want to buy organically if possible, because pesticides are sprayed directly on the skin with up to 13 to 15 different sprays right on the skin, and then you consume that. So for example, strawberries and blueberries and spinach and cucumbers and tomatoes, you want to try to buy those organic if you can, so you can avoid eating so many fruits and preservatives from your fruits and veggies. And you can save money buying your Dirty Dozens organically by buying them frozen. Frozen fruits and veggies they tend to be a little bit cheaper. So having self-respect, in addition to eating well, is drinking enough water. And like I said before, every single body is different, and you just by recommending a general 8 cups of water is not helping anyone because we're all different. So the way that I like to recommend it is take your body weight, divide it in half, and that's the amount of ounces that you're supposed to have each day of water. So for example, if you weigh 200 pounds, you want to drink 100 ounces of water a day. And when you drink enough water, you have more energy naturally. You reduce the chances of having a headache or not feeling well or just feeling a little, off or weird. And this is a little fun example that I use to drink enough water is by marking it with the hours of the day that you want to drink it by. So for example, this person here, they want to drink this much water by 8 a.m., by 9 a.m., by 10 a.m., by 11 a.m., by noon, and then you're going to refill it at noon. So then by 2 p.m., you're drinking this much, 3 p.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m. And then this is a good way to make sure you're drinking enough water. And then, find a fun water bottle if that's something that would motivate you to drink more water. For me, something with a straw helps. It just helps encourage me to sip water throughout the day. So self-respect, treating yourself with self-respect also means getting enough sleep, sleeping well. And you want to aim for about 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night. And that might be tough for some of us. And I know because it was always tough for me and still is at times. So for me, I had to set a wind down reminder. So at 9 p.m., my phone will buzz. I know that I have to wrap up what I'm doing and either go take a bath, go read a book, go, wash my face, brush my teeth, get ready for bed. I like to use lavender and lemongrass essential oils. I like to diffuse them in my little diffuser. And this 5-7-8 breathing technique is a way that I like to, if I'm really feeling wound up, it's a great way, and you can use this throughout the day as a way to focus on your breath to increase relaxation. So you breathe in for 5 seconds, you hold for 7 seconds, and then you breathe out for 8 seconds. And for everyone who's listening, this self-respect pillar is very, very important. It is the basis. It is the groundwork for you moving forward and you really creating balance and success in your life. Because you can't really burn the candle at both ends. You can't work yourself to death. You can't lack sleep, because you may be feeling like you're getting ahead on laundry or getting ahead on dishes. But really, when you don't get enough sleep, when you're cutting back on not eating enough food or the right foods, when you're not drinking enough water, you're hurting yourself in the long run, and you make yourself susceptible to, getting ill or, getting a headache, which will put you out of count for, will put you out anyway. Or if you're sick, that you lose time and energy by getting sick. So take care of yourself by doing these simple things. Exercise is very, very important. And I know exercise can be a love-hate relationship for a lot of us. I know it used to be for me. But when you set a SMART goal and you see the time and the availability in your schedule to complete the goal, and you really want, and it makes you feel good when you complete a goal, then you really just, you're creating trust in yourself. And that encourages you to do it. And it creates confidence in you when you do that. So when you want to exercise, you can't just say, okay, tomorrow's the day and I'm just going to start exercising. You put the date in your calendar, you put the time in your calendar, you see that it's set. So just like a doctor's appointment or a lunch date with a friend, keep that same date with yourself. So the night before, make sure that you have your sneakers out, your gym clothes out. Set yourself up for success. Set out your headphones, set out a water bottle so that you can just wake up, put your stuff on, and go out the door and do it. And I encourage people to do it in the morning so that other distractions don't get in your way. If an accountability partner will help you, then that's something that I recommend doing. So that you know that you're meeting someone at the gym. So you don't want to let them down. And start small. Start with a small goal. If you're not working out at all, don't say you're going to work out 5 days this week. Start super small. Say, I'm going to work out 1 day this week. And then just aim to do 1 day. If you don't want to go to the gym, don't go to the gym. Go do some stretches downstairs. Download a YouTube video. And set these goals super small so that they're achievable for you. So a part of self-respect is self-care. And when you're respecting yourself, you want to take care of yourself. And it is not selfish to want to take care of yourself. This can be treating yourself from anything from a massage to a cup of tea. And it doesn't have to be expensive either. You don't have to think, I don't really have the money to take care of myself. That's not what that means. If you don't want to go get a facial, then you can treat yourself at home very luxuriously. So take the time on yourself, sit and have a cup of tea and be with yourself, check in with yourself. And there's things that you can do that don't cost a lot of money. Self-respect can be meditation to clear your mind. And I want you to really show up as the person you want to become. you're not just going to wake up one day as this ideal version of yourself. You have to act like her every single day, every single moment. You have to encompass her and be her right now. You know, if this person, think what this person would do every single day. Would she press snooze on her alarm clock 4 different times before she actually gets up and gets her gym clothes and ready and goes to the gym? Or would she just sleep in? Or does she stand up at the refrigerator to eat? Or is she neglecting herself of sleep? What are some things that she's doing? And you really have to tap into that and do those things now so that you can become her in the near future. Self-respect also means having a healthy relationships. So on average, you become the 5 people that you spend the most time with. Don't worry if this scares you, but just take it into account. So if you're hanging around with negative people, if you're hanging around with people that don't, fill you up or always complaining or super negative, just take that into account. And even if these are family members and co-workers, it doesn't mean that you have to cut them out. It just means that you are protecting your time and your energy, and you may just want to spend a little bit less time with them. You may share with them and let them know that you're really on this positive path, and either they can join you or just surround yourself with more like-minded people and people that will help lift you up. Join a club, join a new workout group, visit new places, talk to people at the grocery store, and you'll be surprised who you can meet. This will really help you grow as an individual. So you want to manage stress, right? Stress is a huge, huge thing that increases your cortisol levels, that really impacts your health. And stress happens to all of us all the time. So you want to take deep cleansing breaths. I want you to notice, even right now, how you're breathing. Are they just short, shallow breaths right into your chest? Or are you breathing right into your belly? And take a second, just breathe all the way into your belly, fill your belly up with air, and then release. And notice how your shoulders relax, roll your shoulders back. You can take some time to journal, to write down your feelings. Watching comedians and funny shows are a way to reduce your cortisol levels and make you feel relaxed, and you laugh and it increases your serotonin and it just makes you feel good. Trust this process. I know that these things that I'm saying are not always the easiest, but just know by taking small, little, tiny baby steps that you will get there. So self-respect also includes practicing using your voice. So I want you to, if you are the kind of person that says yes to everything, think about that. I want you to consider saying no to things that you really don't want to do. Having a voice is a very powerful thing, right? As it says over here, because you are a woman. You know what you want and you know what you don't want. And by not doing what you want to do and doing things you don't want to do, it's not going to make you feel very good. So I want you to speak up for yourself and loved ones. I want you to do things for you that you want to do, and don't let fear run the show. I know that a lot of things that you want to do may sound scary. I mean, me doing a webinar right now is kind of scary, but you have to fight through that. You have to feel that fear, and you have to do something anyway, because the amount of freedom and success and abundance waiting for you on that other side of fear is huge. And so things that you want to do, whether speaking up to someone, speaking up to your boss, telling a friend that they're no longer serving you anymore, that you would like to do something else, is really, really powerful. And women in general are super powerful, and not only in the house, but in the workplace, in your neighborhood, not only to your children, but to your spouse and to your family members and to your friends. And you are a strong, powerful being, and you really need to use that voice to tap into that. So now we're on to our second pillar here, and it's time management. And like I said before, time management, or the time in the day, is a great equalizer. It's the same 24 hours. So I want to know what you're doing with your 24 hours. And how can you maximize your 24 hours? Can you wake up a couple minutes earlier? On your commute time to work, can you use that to either listen to an uplifting podcast? Can you use it to voice record yourself talking so that can be your journaling time? What can you catch up on phone calls, not on the phone, but through the voice, through, if you have Bluetooth in your car, you can talk on your phone or on speaker. On commercial breaks, can you take, every time you see a commercial break, can you get on the floor and do some push-ups, do some sit-ups, make a fun competition with your family members? Are you scrolling on Facebook? Are you wasting endless amounts of minutes and precious hours scrolling through Facebook and, getting done Facebook, getting off of it, not really feeling any better about yourself, but, feeling like you wasted some time? So can you catch yourself doing that? Can you temporarily delete that app from your phone? And the tomato timer is a little app that I use. You can look it up on tomatotimer.com or search it in your iTunes store. And you can, it's essentially just a little app that times every 25 minutes. If you're sitting there doing work without you just sitting all day doing endless amounts of work and getting done, not even realizing what you did with your time working. So this tomato timer sets an alarm every 25 minutes. So every time it goes off, you can sit there and reflect and say, okay, what did I do? And then take a 5-minute break after that 25 minutes and then set it again so that you can say, okay, well, in the next 25 minutes, I'm going to make sure I complete this paper here, or at least to create 2 new paragraphs in it. Excuse me. So positive talk. What kind of talk are you using around time? Are you saying you don't have time? Are you saying that, there's never enough hours in the day? I want you to maybe nip that in the butt. And instead of saying, I don't have time for that, you can simply say, I'm choosing to spend my time here, or I'm choosing to do this. And I do have the time, but I'm spending it with my family instead. And this Big Rocks here, this is a video that I will link to the show notes here. And the Big Rocks are, so if you can imagine a jar with large rocks in it, and then you can imagine a small bowl of pebbles and a small bowl of sand. You want to fit everything in. This jar holds your life in it. And when you fill, okay, so these rocks, these large rocks, are the most important things in your life: family, friends, your health. And then you have things that are the pebbles that represent the things that are important but don't really matter. Things like your job, things like your bank account, things like maybe hobbies, right? Things that if you found out you had 1 year left, you wouldn't really focus on working or doing things you didn't really want to do, even though they were important. And then the sand represents all the little things that do not matter in your life. Things like scrolling on Facebook or doing little things that you don't like doing. And when you try to fit the sand in first, and then the pebbles, and then the big rocks, all the big rocks, not all of them fit. But when you focus on putting all the big rocks in first, and then the pebbles, which will filter through these big rocks, and then the sand, which filters through the big rocks and the pebbles, everything ends up fitting. So this is a fun little video that I will share in the show notes. And I want you to think about that. So don't spend time trying to be perfect. You just want to simply predict your week as best as you possibly can, and predict your days as best as you possibly can. And then also, like I said before, you just want to do your best. And each day is a new opportunity, and each week is a new opportunity to do more. So organization, and this is our third pillar, and organization is key. And you want to have an organized mind, everything from an organized mind to an organized living room. And a clear space is a clear mind, and vice versa. So you really want to focus on, if you have a 10-minute little block here, then what can I finish in 10 minutes? If you see that there's a commercial on TV, can I tidy up the living room in that time? You want to create and review to-do lists so that it can be a to-done list. Use a planner and or whiteboard. And if you have a family that looks at, a family that you all have to figure out what works for all of you, and you have soccer practice here and you have dance recital here, give your husband, give your spouse, give your children responsibility to all look at this calendar together, because just because you're mom doesn't mean you have to take care of all the different tasks and responsibilities, So creating a community whiteboard here where your whole family can see can be helpful, so that everyone knows what's going on and so that everyone can be prepared. And if Timmy knows that he has baseball practice then on Tuesday, then Monday night, you have to get yourself together. You have to get your head around it. It doesn't have to be mom's job to say, all right, do you have this done? Do you have that done? Just give your kids a responsibility if they're old enough. Set and review goals together as a family or individually. So what are your goals for the year? And then you want to break it down into what are your monthly goals? What are the goals for the month? And then what are your weekly goals? How can you break it down into week so that you can accomplish your monthly goal? And then once you have your goal for the week, what can you do each day so that you can reach your goal in a week, so that you can reach it in a month, and so that you can reach them all in a year? And this is something that I went over before about SMART goal setting. And so, like I mentioned in the beginning, I want you to walk away from this PowerPoint, this presentation here, with what is one SMART goal that you can achieve this week? What is something that I mentioned that struck a chord for you, that that you really should be spending some more time and energy on, that you can do this week? The opportunities are endless, and just know that a goal without a plan is just a wish. And that was kind of brought to my attention when sometimes I would wish. Like I find myself wishing sometimes, and I'm like, and this one time it really hit me when I went to go throw a penny into a fountain, and I was like, oh, I wish for this. And I was like, first of all, you can have it. You can have anything that you wish for. You just have to do the work. You have to do the hard work that it takes to get your wish. So if you wish for a fitter body, if you wish to lose weight, if you wish for a certain amount of money in your bank account, you can get whatever it is that you want in this world with a little hard work and determination. And this is really, really, really the basis of what I work my clients through, whether they're one-on-one clients or group clients. It is imperative to work carefully through a goal and set it so that you can actually achieve it. And that is the real benefit of having a health coach on your side, is that I provide you with not only these tools and resources, but the accountability that you need in order to achieve this goal. Because this is not easy all the time to say, my wish is to get fit. I'm going to set a goal to get this fit body or do whatever. And then come Friday night and you're like, yeah, I would love to go out and get a couple beers and indulge in those nachos. And I'm not saying that you can't ever do that, but it's almost like you then forget, or you forget midweek and someone placed that brownie in your hand and you're like, what the hell? I know that I couldn't have put that brownie in my hand because I'm really, really, really trying hard to get healthy. And so I really help my clients figure out what it is that caused the craving for the brownie, or how can we set you up for success in the future so that you don't indulge in that brownie, or what are some healthier ways that we can get you to have a brownie without eating an actual sugar-filled brownie. And so you want to create an accountability action plan, and Your life is the result of choices that you make. Every single day, every single minute, you have a choice. And you can either choose to move your future in the positive direction or into the negative direction and do the same old things that you've been doing. And where do you think that you're going to get if you keep doing the same old things over and over again? Probably the same place. And if you can think of where you were maybe last year, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, were you still wishing for the same things? Were you still trying to achieve the same goal? So if that's the case, then something really has to change. And so this just starts with a decision, and it starts with you making that decision. And you're not just going to wake up one day and become this person that you've always dreamt of being. It takes consistency, it takes action, and it takes trust, creating trust in yourself. And I want you to be grateful for all things that you have in your life and for all small triumphs. You listening to this presentation right now is a triumph. I want you to understand that is you making the decision to move forward in the right direction. So I want you to give yourself a pat on the back and be grateful for that. So I have a special invitation for all of you lovely ladies who have listened up until this point. Like I said in the beginning, that I had a special invite for you. And this is the very last group of its kind to be offered at such a low price or ever again. I'm not completely sure if it's going to be something that I will offer in the future, because in the future, come June, so right now it is April. So come June, I am launching an online course where I take all this lovely tidbits of information coupled with my my support and guidance, but I'm not offering just the one-on-one or the group coaching program like I am anymore right now. And so this is the last of its kind at such a low price. This is like a fraction of the cost that I will be offering anything in the near future. So this is a virtual group coaching program, this women's virtual group coaching, and it's a 2-month-long weekly program that you can participate in from the comfort of your own couch, in your PJs, with or without a glass of wine. I won't tell anyone. So we dive deep into all these different areas that we just talked about, and we really work on creating those small, attainable, digestible goals, and we get you to accomplish them in 2 months. So I show you ways. I am here for you. I provide you with the accountability of being in the group. I provide you with lots more of information and tips, and you have not only myself but the group as well to lean on. And that you will be so surprised. The women that have completed my program before, they make friendships and accountability partners, and it's amazing from the women in the group. So you're not only being accountable to me, but to the other women in the group. So like I said, we work on setting small, digestible, bite-sized goals, all while finding the accountability in the group towards achieving your ultimate health goals. And 2 months I find is a sustainable amount of time, and it's a good amount of time where you can experience highs and lows and different scenarios, different events that might come up that you can tune in one week and say, listen, Jamie, I have a wedding coming up. I don't want to indulge too much, or you have these different scenarios coming up, and I help you work through that. So I find that 2 months is the perfect amount of time. So this is your chance to hop in on this price. It is a $299 program for 2 months of coaching, support, accountability, resources, unlimited email access to me, and more. And if you want to learn more or see testimonials from women who have completed this course, you can go to my website. This is the link here, and I will add it to my show notes. or to the comments below, or you can just go to ohhowhealthy.com and you can click on services and click on virtual group coaching. And I will leave you with this quote, guys. Things are easy to do and things are also easy not to do. It's easy to set your clothes out ahead of time, get in the car, drive yourself to the gym, move your body for 20 minutes, drive back home, get in the shower. But it's also easy not to do. So I just want you to understand that if it were easy to do all these different things that you want to do in your life, then everyone would do it. And I want to show you that you can be that person that makes it easy to do all these different things in your life. So I hope that you join me. In each group, there's only 4 spots available. And you can check out here on the website the different days that I have open and see if those time and those days work for you. Because I really hope that you can get in on this. This will be the last of its kind, like I said, especially at this price. So please message me if you have any questions, any concerns, anything else. You go right here to this website and there's a way that you can contact me and reach out. So thank you so much for being here and tuning in and listening. And I hope to see you in one of the groups. All right, guys, have a great day.